Your sister needs the money more, Mom said, barely looking up from her phone as she told me my college fund, $80,000 I'd watched grow since childhood, was being given to my younger sister Emma. She got into NYU's fashion program. That's a real career opportunity. I sat at our kitchen table, my MIT acceptance letter lying between us like a boundary line. The same table where my parents had once promised that money would be there for my education. But what about MIT? I asked, fighting to keep my voice steady. The engineering program dash. Oh Hannah, be realistic, Mom interrupted. Women in engineering? That's such a boys' club. Emma has a real chance at success in fashion. You can go to community college and find something more suitable. I'm Hannah Chen, 28, and until that moment, I'd believed that academic excellence and hard work were all that mattered in our family. What I hadn't realized was that my sister's dreams would always overshadow mine, simply because they fit our mother's image of suitable careers for her daughters. More suitable, I repeated slowly, like what? Business administration maybe? Or teaching? Mom suggested, still scrolling through her phone, probably looking at Emma's latest social media posts. Something that won't be so difficult for you. Difficult, as if being top of my class in advanced physics and mathematics was somehow a sign I needed an easier path. As if the robotics competitions I'd won were just hobby projects, not indicators of my future. I see, I said quietly, picking up my acceptance letter. And this decision is final? Of course it is. Emma's already planning her move to New York. She needs a proper wardrobe, a nice apartment. These things are expensive. Fashion is all about appearances, you know. I did know about appearances. I also knew about reality, and the reality was that I'd just lost my shot at my dream school, or at least, that's what my mother thought. What she didn't know was that I'd been preparing for something like this. Years of watching Emma get preferential treatment had taught me to have backup plans, multiple backup plans. Well then, I said, standing up, I guess I'll need to figure something else out. Mom finally looked up, her expression a mix of condescension and false sympathy. Don't be dramatic, Hannah. Community college is perfectly respectable, and who knows, maybe you'll meet a nice young man who can take care of you. I left without responding. In my room, I opened my laptop and logged into an email account my mother didn't know existed. There, waiting in my inbox, was the message I'd been hoping for. Dear Ms. Chen, we are pleased to confirm your acceptance into MIT's engineering program with a full merit scholarship, including stipend for living expenses. I smiled, remembering all the late nights I'd spent secretly applying for every scholarship I could find. Mom had been too busy with Emma's fashion shows and social media presence to notice. But that wasn't the only secret I'd been keeping. 10 years later, I stood in my corner office at Chin Robotics, the company I'd built from the ground up after graduating from MIT. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, I could see the Boston skyline, a far cry from the community college future my mother had envisioned for me. My assistant's voice came through the intercom. Ms. Chen, your mother is calling again, third time today. Put her through, I said, settling into my chair. Hannah? Mom's voice was eager, excited in a way it had rarely been when talking to me. You'll never believe this. Emma just had an interview at the most amazing company in Boston. They're doing incredible things with technology and fashion. It would be perfect for her. I knew exactly which company she meant. Chin Robotics had recently launched a groundbreaking line of smart fabrics and automated manufacturing processes that had revolutionized the fashion industry. The fashion blogs Emma followed had been buzzing about us for months. That's nice, I replied neutrally. Which company? It's called Chin Robotics. Isn't that funny? Same last name as us. Emma says they're very exclusive, very innovative, but, she hesitated, she's worried she might not get the position. I was hoping, since you work in some kind of tech job, you might know someone there, put in a good word? Some kind of tech job, that's how she'd always described my career, never bothering to learn exactly what I did or how successful I'd become. I'd maintained that obscurity deliberately, using my Chinese given name on all corporate documents and avoiding personal publicity. I might know someone, I said carefully. When was her interview? Yesterday, with their HR director. Emma said it went well, but she's nervous because she doesn't have much technical experience. But she has such an eye for fashion, they'd be lucky to have her. I pulled up the HR report on my computer. Emma's interview had indeed gone well. She was charming and personable, as always, but her technical knowledge was non-existent, and her fashion experience consisted mainly of running a moderately successful Instagram account. I'll see what I can find out, I told Mom. Was there anything else? Yes, Emma's having a little financial trouble. That NYU degree was expensive, you know, and her influencer career is just starting to take off. I don't suppose you could help, just a small loan? I thought about the $80,000 that had been redirected to Emma's real career opportunity, money that had turned into an overpriced degree and a series of failed fashion blogging attempts. I'll have to check my budget, I said. Things are a bit tight right now. Mom sighed dramatically. Hannah, you really should find a better paying job. I worry about you in that tech support position or whatever it is you do. Tech support position. I looked around my executive office, at the awards and patents lining the walls, at the view of the city I was helping shape through innovation. I manage, I replied simply. I'll let you know about Emma's application. After hanging up, I called my HR director. About Emma Chen's application, I began. Your sister? She confirmed. She's qualified for an entry-level position in our fashion division, though her technical skills dash. Create a new position, I interrupted. Junior Fashion Technology Liaison, entry-level salary, basic benefits, and Maria? Don't mention any connection to me. The next week, Emma bounced into Chen Robotics for her first day of work, probably expecting to revolutionize our fashion division with her Instagram expertise. What she didn't expect was to be assigned to a tiny cubicle, learning the basics of our technical specifications. I watched from my office as she was led to her workspace. She hadn't changed much, still perfectly styled, still expecting the world to adjust to her preferences. I wondered how long it would take her to realize that success here would require actual work, not just social media presence. My phone buzzed with a text from Mom. Emma got the job. I knew you must know someone important there. When can you help with that loan? I ignored the message. Instead, I focused on the quarterly reports showing Chen Robotics' continued growth and innovation. The company I'd built while they thought I was working some vague tech support job was now valued at over $500 million. Over the next few months, I kept tabs on Emma's progress through department reports. She struggled with the technical aspects but showed occasional glimpses of genuine creativity. Her supervisor noted that she was finally starting to take the work seriously, though she still complained about not being promoted to a design position immediately. Then came the day I'd been both anticipating and dreading, the company's annual all-hands meeting, where I would be presenting our new technological initiatives. There was no way to avoid being seen. I stood backstage, adjusting my suit and checking my presentation one last time. Through the curtain, I could see Emma in the audience, probably expecting another boring technical talk from people she considered beneath her fashion expertise. Good morning, everyone, I began, walking onto the stage. For those who don't know me, I'm Hannah Chen, founder and CEO of Chen Robotics. The reaction was immediate. Emma's phone clattered to the floor. Several rows back, I saw one of her fashion division colleagues frantically whispering to her, probably explaining exactly who her big sister was. I continued my presentation as if nothing was unusual, outlining our new innovations and growth strategies, but I kept one eye on Emma, watching as the realization of exactly who she'd been working for these past months sank in. After the presentation, I returned to my office to find Emma waiting, her perfect composure noticeably shaken. You're the CEO? She demanded as soon as I closed the door. All this time? Why didn't you tell us? Would it have mattered? I asked calmly, taking my seat. You and Mom were pretty clear about what you thought of my career choices. But this is incredible. Why did you let us think you were just some tech support person? Because that's all you and Mom wanted to see, I replied. Anything more ambitious wasn't suitable for me, remember? Emma sank into a chair, her fashion-forward outfit suddenly looking out of place in my executive office. The college fund, she said quietly. You didn't need it, did you? You had a scholarship. Full ride to MIT, I confirmed, plus living expenses. I tried to tell Mom, but she was too busy planning your move to New York. Why didn't you fight harder? Say something? Would anyone have listened? You were the one with the real career opportunity, remember? Emma had the grace to look ashamed. I didn't know. I mean, I knew you were smart, but this, she gestured at my office, the view, the evidence of success surrounding us. Now you know, I said simply, and now you understand why I'm not interested in providing loans or special treatment. Whatever you achieve here will be based on your own merit, just like everything I've achieved. Does Mom know yet? She will soon enough. I'm being featured in Forbes next month, 30 under 30 and all that. Emma was quiet for a moment, processing everything. I've been terrible to you, haven't I? All these years, thinking I was the successful one. You weren't terrible, I corrected her. You were just privileged. Never having to prove yourself the way I did. Never having to fight for recognition or support. What happens now? She asked. Now, you go back to your cubicle and continue learning our technology. If you work hard, you might earn that design position you want. No special treatment. No shortcuts. And Mom? I smiled slightly. I think reading about her tech support daughter in Forbes will be enlightening enough. The Forbes article came out the following week. My assistant reported that Mom had called 17 times after it was published, each message more frantic than the last. When I finally took her call, her voice was different, no longer dismissive, but almost desperate to establish a connection to my success. Hannah, why didn't you tell us? All this time, we knew you were smart, but we're so proud. Proud? I repeated, proud of my unsuitable career choice, my difficult path in a boys' club? Or just proud now that there's something in it for you? That's not fair, she protested. We always supported you. No, Mom, you always supported Emma. I succeeded despite you, not because of you. There was a long pause. I'm sorry, she said finally. I was wrong. About everything. Yes, you were, I agreed. And now you know. Over the next year, things changed in unexpected ways. Emma, humbled by the revelation of my success and her own prejudices, actually buckled down and worked hard. She earned her promotion to the design team legitimately, and her combination of fashion sense and newly acquired technical knowledge proved valuable. Mom struggled more with the new reality. She alternated between trying to take credit for my success, I always knew you had potential, and attempting to leverage it for her own social status, but she could no longer dismiss my career or achievements as something less than Emma's. At the next company holiday party, I watched from my position at the head table as Emma explained our smart fabric technology to a group of investors. She'd come a long way from the Instagram influencer who thought technical specifications were beneath her. Ms. Chen, my assistant, interrupted my thoughts. Your mother is here, again. She's hoping you'll join her ladies' lunch club as a speaker. Tell her my schedule is full, I replied, but she's welcome to read about our latest innovations in next month's technology review. Sometimes success isn't about proving others wrong, it's about proving yourself right. And sometimes the best revenge isn't confrontation or humiliation, but simply letting people discover their own prejudices through the undeniable evidence of your achievement. My phone buzzed with a text from Emma. Mom's still bragging about her CEO daughter to anyone who'll listen. Pretty ironic considering she wanted you to find a nice young man to take care of you. I smiled, remembering that conversation at our kitchen table 10 years ago. How's the community college route looking now? I texted back. About as suitable as my influencer career, she replied with a laughing emoji. Thanks for making me earn my place here. It means more this way. Looking out at the Boston skyline from my office, I thought about how far we'd all come, not just in terms of success or achievement, but in understanding and growth. Mom might never fully comprehend the impact of her past dismissal of my dreams, but she could no longer deny their validity. Emma had learned the value of real work and merit, and I had built something that proved, beyond any doubt, that the most suitable path is the one you choose for yourself. Even if others can't see it until it's too big to ignore.